And good evening, everybody. Welcome to Talk Wrestling across all of our various platforms, the Jeff Meacham Network, NoDQ.com, the Greg Cherry brand, the Cassidy Teen Studios, my Facebook, my group Facebook, and my Twitter. I am your host, Jeff Meacham. That thing is see-through as a mucker feather. So there's the Jack of all trades championship. We're going to be talking more about that in the plug at the end of the show, which may not necessarily go only an hour tonight, just so everybody's aware of that right now. Let me go ahead and throw that out there now. Again, I'm seeing the comments come in, so I'm going to go ahead and throw them up there before I bring in the first of what could be a lot of guests tonight. And yes, you may feel free to call in tonight. By all means, come on in, join the party if you dare. Let's see. Josh is here. He says, howdy, my brother. Holy crap, Raw was awesome last night. Did I actually just type that? Raw was actually pretty decent. I'm not going to lie. Aaron kind of didn't like it as much from what I saw in his review, but I happen to like the show. So there you go. And he says, what a fantastic Women's Dusty Cup Classic final. Yeah, great tournament, great final there. Looking forward to the confrontation down the line with the champs and the new Dusty Cup winners. And he says, ooh, that Dads for April 1st looks awesome, and I'm pumped up with Mike Knight. Well, thank you. Definitely looking forward to everything coming up here in the next little while. You saw it on the trailer. We'll talk about it at the very end of the show. Don't want to get too bogged down in plugs just yet. And Richard says Cody shows up next week or at Mania. I'm actually pretty hyped for Mania this year. I'm a little hyped for it too. Well, again, you saw it in the trailer. We'll talk more WrestleMania toward the end of the show, and definitely next week right here on the Jeff Meacham Network. And of course, NoDQ.com will be covering WrestleMania as well. So stay tuned for that on all fronts. Richard says, NXT 2.0 is growing on me. Yeah, you know what? It's getting better, slowly but sure. And yes, the camera is wide. And I have the green screen up, so the freaking Winged Eagle just looks like crud with that with the green screen up. It doesn't preview, doesn't render very well. We're working on that here at the network. We're trying to get everything lined up so it looks more better, as my English teacher would lament me saying. So based on that, let me go ahead and get everything turned off here now that NXT is officially over as far as my brand of sports entertainment is concerned. And let me bring in a guy who's been waiting in the green room for almost a half hour. And I totally wigged him out here before we went on the air. But you know what? What the hell? I had a great bit planned, and I blew it by adjusting the camera and letting him see me. But I'll go ahead and bring him in anyway. Hey, Stat Boy, how are you, brother?
Well, hello, my internet fans. What's going on? We're here. We're Talk Wrestling with Jeff Meacham. Yay!
Yay. As Carter would say. Different.
I'm loving it.
Go ahead and use the WTC background because
because you got a title defense coming up.
There we go. So Mikey, I'm gonna totally rat him out here just so everybody knows in advance. So originally, when we were gonna go on the air, I had. So, because when he came into the green room, he was wearing the shirt he's wearing now, which is the current logo of that team and that plays at Staples Center South down in Orange County that I won't say on the air on purpose. Exactly. Yeah, quack. So I decided that not only was I going to wear this when I came on. You can't even see because the damn green screen.
It's rendered.
See, like I said, the bit wouldn't have worked if I'd had the green screen actually active. This is a original Mighty Ducks movie logo, or D2, I should say, look, with a green T-shirt, and then to completely pull the punk, I had this set up for the background. Let me see if I can get the camera out there. I mean, just to make Stat Boy pop, because you were never going to see me and Mikey on screen together with duck shirts on together ever again. But as I said, I blew the bit, so is what it is. Anyway.
The one of the new things that's happened since I've moved to Tennessee with Dory is we like to playfully banter back and forth, or I'll say something stupid, or I'll say something naughty, or whatever. Dory's corrupted me. I say that a lot to her too, and it did happen in California where I would uncontrollably laugh, cry, side splitting, whatnot. It's called breaking Mikey. Yes. Hey, Josh, thank you. So now we can add good old JM onto the list to breaking Mikey, because as soon as I saw the logo and he put it up there, he hadn't hit record yet. He hadn't hit go live. I was uncontrollably laughing. It would have been a great bit, you know. So it happened. We have the personal memory, and thank God it's not on the internet right now because it might go viral, and I don't want to go viral. I really don't.
Viral's the best kind of stat boy. Anyway,
Yeah.
So
it didn't happen.
I'm being asked if I know Rico de la Vega. That name sounds very familiar. If you're referring to a wrestler who was trained at Santino's named Rico, then yes, I do know who that is. Otherwise, I don't. So if you want to elaborate on who that is, we can talk about who that is.
Yeah, that sounds like somebody.
And Marshall says, "Say hello to the Marshall." Yeah, again, a tribute to
Hi, Marshall. Hi,
Scott. Marshall in the house. We're doing great, Marshall. Thank you. Zach says, "Dory corrupted you." Well, Dory corrupts everybody because that's what Dory does. Especially with this guy. Oh, this guy. There we go. I got my mixed up again. And I'm really fuzzy again. I just realized that. Hang on a second.
Yeah, I have said when Dory and I are watching Jeopardy or whatever, or I say something stupid that can be misconstrued as naughty, and I realize how stupid it is when I say it, I go to put the blame on her. I'm like, Dory, you've corrupted me again, and whatever, and then I'm on the floor, laughter, tears, crying. That's how I put when I corrupted myself. Okay, but it's all in fun, folks. It's all in fun. That's all it is.
Right.
Yeah.
And apparently he interviewed Rico, and he told me he said hi to me.
Oh, okay.
It must be Rico from Santino's, who I'm.
Yeah.
We're actually, I don't know if Mikey watched the entire trailer, but we are going to be talking about Santino's the week following WrestleMania because if I can find the graphic, boom! Look who's back. So let me get rid of that. Our old buddy Mariah Moreno from Santino's from the Wild Days. She's our former Wild World Champion, one of our good buddies from back in the day. She'll be on with us coming up the Thursday after WrestleMania. So looking forward to seeing Mariah and catching up. Haven't talked to her on camera in interview format ever. So it'll be cool to have her on that in that vein. But anyway, so it'll be cool.
I've got plenty of stories with the Santino brothers. I mean,
I know you do.
Oh yeah, if you ever want to hear, I can easily rant about them, and in a good way, of course. And
it's funny you mentioned Stat Boys Rants. We'll do the official plugs later, but coming up on the 28th of April, Stat Boys Rants is officially back in its own time slot on a Thursday. So there you go. Once a month, we'll bring Stat Boy Rants back until we get the sports bar back up and running for football season. So there you go.
Right.
All right. So Zach says, my boys, sorry I've been so busy with work. It's been mad crazy here in New Orleans with 22 festivals, definitely. And the final 4 in the next month coming off Mardi Gras and St. Patty's Day. But I'm finally out today. So Zach, we're glad to have you. Glad to hear you're recovered enough to be in the audience. So thank you, brother. It's good to see you. Good to hear from you and all that jazz. He wrestled in Ring of Honor and Evolve in Puerto Rico. Okay, that might not be the guy I'm thinking of. But I will definitely, again, I will look into – I think it's the same thing. Anyway.
I think it is too.
Anyway. Stat Boy is not a wrestler. He did train briefly at Santino's, and he did referee a couple of things here and there in the old LBWA. Look it up. You'll thank me later. And that's all I'm going to say about that right now. But never officially went beyond a couple of sessions with Joey and Mongol and the boys. So
by the time I had learned about Santino's, I believed that my potential wrestling career was over, and our friend Ryan suggested I should be, if I didn't want to fully be in the business as an active talent, that I could have been a referee or a manager. And so when I found out about Santino's, they said, well, if you want to be a manager or a referee, you still have to learn the business. You still have to learn how to bump. You have to learn how to protect yourself. And, I'll probably go into this more detail. I mean, I want to keep it your show, and I don't want to make it about me. But they kicked my ass big time. Oh my God. I learned so much about, respect and hard work, and it's no joke. It's not a cakewalk like some people think. They think, oh, I'm gonna train, and I'm gonna get all buff, and I'm gonna work, and I'm gonna get I'm going to go to WWE with. No, you're not. It's not going to be like that.
No. So there's conversation going on in the chat room about Rico. If I can get his last name on the Rico we're talking about, because like I said, it's not Rico. Rico from Billy and Chuck era, and like I said, if it's the Rico that trained at Santino's, I know who you're talking about, but I don't remember him working at Ring of Honor or Evolve. So Puerto Rico, I can see it happening, but I don't remember him working out of those companies. So anyway, we'll move on from that until we get a definitive answer.
Familiar. So
Zach says, boys, do you feel Cody versus Seth build is the same as Cena versus Undertaker, the way they are dragging it out? It's not even apples and oranges, it's apples and bananas. It really is, because John actively sought out the Undertaker in the context of the storyline, right? Whereas Seth seems like a ship without a rudder. He has no direction. He has no idea what his WrestleMania moment is going to be in the context of the story. We know that he does, if the Cody rumors are indeed true. So I don't think they're the same presentation. I do know that people want to compare it like that, but I don't see the similarity on that front. People, and again, this is not a knock on you, Zach, so don't take it like it is. People want to seem to always compare rather than let things breathe, be original, be different, be new. And like has been said across social media about 648 times in the last 2 weeks, remember the days of Monday Night War where people would just show up and you wouldn't know about it a month in advance, like Ravishing Rick Rude, like X-Pac, like the Outsiders, like Luger, yes. And to give credit the other way, there are a lot of comments on those posts saying, well, yeah, but the internet was so prevalent even back then that some people knew Luger was going to be there. It was just a matter of when. So because of Davey Boy turning heel, and it's like, well, Luger had definitely no rudder on the ship after Davey Boy turned heel. He was completely directionless in 95, which is why he had Sting go to bat for him with Bischoff, because he knew the WWF was going to get him absolutely nowhere at that point. Anyway, so no, I don't think they're the same whatsoever.
I totally agree with you on that, because they have not said Cody's name. They have not said any build up that, WWE has not acknowledged that Cody has signed, because they are trying to keep everything under wraps. But somebody leaked the story, so all the fans are like, oh my God, it's going to happen. Whereas Undertaker and Cena, like you said, Cena was calling out the Undertaker a month in advance. Every week he's like, I'm calling out the Undertaker, I'm calling out the Undertaker, I'm calling out the Undertaker. The same thing happened with Owens and Austin. He kept hinting at Texas, he kept knocking Texas, and now finally, Vince got on the phone off camera. Hey, can you do this? Yeah, sure, I'm in. Oh my God, I'm calling out Stone Cold. And that skull cap that Owens was wearing last night was so bad, it was so good. Right. It was one of the best makeup jobs. For a quick second, it almost looked like to me that he actually did shave his head. But when the camera got it, you could see the wrinkles on the cap. I'm like, whoever did that, if that was worked or not worked, it was genius.
Yep, exactly.
So the answer is no. I don't believe that they're doing it the same way.
Right, Richard. I don't know how you got a hold of the video with me interviewing the Dream, because it wasn't a video, it was an audio segment. But God bless you for digging it out of the freaking the rubbish pile. Yeah, that was interesting. I mean, that was back when I was still doing teacher assisting and tutoring, so I had to go do my job, and Dusty pounced on it, and my co-host at the time made his career on our show about doing that. So that dude owes Dusty everything, as do we all. Let's not kid ourselves. We love the Dream. So Rico Rodriguez. If it's Ricardo Rodriguez, then I know exactly who the hell it is, because it's Chewy. It's Chimera. It's our boy Ricardo Rodriguez, but I don't think it's the same guy.
Now with the last name, no, I have to agree. I don't know who that is.
So let's see. Richard says, any more plans to interview legends again? Love your news with Rob. I would love to interview anybody and everybody that it comes down the pike. The thing is just a matter of availability. I mean, right now I've got Mariah Moreno coming up in a couple weeks. I've got Jenny Santana, who is coming back on next month, and I'll be in Vegas for that show, Ultimate Women of Wrestling, coming up on May 21st. So we'll be having a good chunk of that roster filter through the channel in the next 2 months. So be on the lookout for that. But legend is a word that is thrown around far too liberally for my money. And to be completely honest, I got a lot of flack with going to PWG shows with Team No DQ only to interview the TNA guys, quote unquote. That was a quote from the PWG fans at the time because they were assholes, to be blunt. But on the front of the basic complaint, they're absolutely right. And I refuse to be that guy at this point in my career, my job, whatever you want to call it. I want to interview people that want to be interviewed. I want to interview people that have something to promote, that want to talk about what's coming up in their lives, their careers, whatever. So Mariah's coming back to Santino. She's working at Santino show coming up on the weekend after the interview with her and I. Jenny Santana is starting the brand new promotion with a lot of people that I've worked with. So that's all what I'm here for. Let's see. And again, the whole thing with Seth and Cody, Seth, win, lose, draw, whatever, is having pay-per-view quality matches on Raw the last month. So win, lose, or draw, his story is one of the things that's carrying Raw. So there you go. Marshall says Cody should have went to NWA for a while to swerve the fans, eventually return to WWE when nobody. No. What should have happened is everybody not fantasy booking Cody's return to WWE back in January. Not fantasy booking Cody's storyline, not fantasy booking Cody leaving 8. TJS, our buddy here on NoDQ.com, all you that are watching the NoDQ channel right now, and I appreciate everybody watching all together. Let shit breathe. Let it play out. Let it happen.
Let it cook.
I don't care if Cody walks out there, looks in Seth's eyes, gives the man a hug, and walks away. I don't give a shit because Cody Rhodes is back where he feels he can now properly get the recognition he sought when he left WWE a few years ago. And, Hunter and Cody even talked about it when he left, that he wasn't leaving to pull a power play. He wasn't leaving to, I'm gonna go bury the company. Other than the whole, destroying the Triple H looking throne thing with a sledgehammer, he has not buried WWE. He's refused to do that. But he also told Hunter he can't stay out of loyalty to Hunter for giving the Dream a job, because he needs to grow as a performer, as a person, as now a father, as a husband. So just kind of one of those things where, Cody's had a chance to go out and, spread his wings and fly, and he flew high. He started his own company. He got a brand off the ground with the recognition of his name and Matt and Nick's names. Literally had a pay-per-view that they funded themselves, got people, 10,000 people in an arena in Chicago, and out of the ashes of that event became AEW. So I'm proud of Cody as a fan. I'm proud of Cody as somebody that's had the opportunity to interact with the Rhodes family so much in the last, 20 years. Some bitch, I feel like every time I say shit like that. So I'm here for it, and I'm happy with it. Now if he comes back and they mess it up, then yeah, I feel free. Come on this show, and we will bitch at the company together for screwing Cody up again. Please, I invite that if they screw it up. Ariel says it's always good to see Jeff. Welcome back. I'm assuming you're watching No DQ. It's good to be back. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Going forward past WrestleMania craziness, because the next 2 weeks are going to be just that. I'll be back on No DQ every Tuesday night after NXT. This will be a simulcast on all 4 channels going forward after WrestleMania. Word is the winner of the Cody versus Seth match will face the winner of the Reigns-Lesnar match at Backlash.
too soon.
If it's Cody, it's definitely too soon. And Mikey knows I never say too soon. It's never too soon for anything. But that's too soon.
Right. And Seth already did the thing with Roman and Seth Lesnar. Come on. I'm gonna take a line from DX. Who booked that crap?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Seth would have no chance. This is not 2019, 2018, 2017 when he opening match at WrestleMania pre-stomp. No, it's not going to work that way. They're not going to play that card again. Brock is on that high level now,
right,
where the fans are liking him. And if by some miracle the secret meeting has taken place where the big with Seth, you're gonna lose your way to WrestleMania, but you can't tell anybody. We're gonna bring in Cody. You're gonna beat Cody, and then you're gonna go after Brock, and you're finally gonna beat Brock. And you must have been on something for that.
Well, let's not get nasty. I mean, that was Josh after all. Let's not get nasty just because, you and him disagree on Sports Bar. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So Greg says, looking forward to Jack of all trades on Thursday. Got two. Great. So now you're going to make me defend the title live, you jackass. You got 2 new rounds to throw at me. Thanks a lot. I'll go ahead and plug it since I already had the plug line up anyway, and I am looking forward to it myself. That's coming up Thursday. Let me get the banner out of the way so you can see the time and everything. This Thursday, the 24th, 2 o'clock Pacific, so 5 Eastern for you East Coast kids. I'm blocking my own face. That just doesn't work. I don't like doing it. Yeah, there we go. The champ will be there. 3 people I've never been on screen with before, so that'll be an interesting experience. And, I'm defending the title live because Greg hates me. So, yeah, anyway. That's coming up Thursday. Definitely looking forward to that as well, Greg. I'm glad to do it. I'm just going to leave this comment. I'm going to throw it up there. Hey, Jeff, just wanted to say what's up and technically show my username to Statboy. So there you go.
Wow, thanks a lot. You're entitled to your
opinion. We're bringing the man who's applauding that comment in the chat room. Greg Renegade's here. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
So, Jay.
We suck so bad. How come we have a cup? How about that? Explain that.
How come we have 2?
Shut up. How about you get some new material? That joke is so old it's growing dust.
So was you saying we have a cup first?
Yeah.
Well, come up with new material.
You first.
You too. Kings of the Pacific Division.
You guys won the cup first. Get new material first.
There you go.
I will. I'll think of it.
Okay. When you see Steve coming out, he's thinking.
Anyway, until you buy the new Renegades Rules shirt,
that's right.
You cannot declare yourself a Ducks fan.
Ha!
Oh, really?
That's right.
Rule number 3: Ducks fly together.
Ducks fly together.
Fine.
Right.
You have to buy
I only have one because everybody knows that Pope. So So, Jay, did you happen to see me explaining the bid I had planned for Mikey before you came in?
No, I literally just got here.
Dude.
Okay, so the green screen's up, so it's gonna look like shit. Here, let me hang on a second.
You want a cup? Does that mean it's now time to rest on your laurels?
You. I almost said it on camera, Jeff. I almost said it on camera.
Anyway, so I had this whole bit planned, Jay. Let me paint the picture. So originally I was gonna be off camera like this, and hang on, let me fix it. So I was gonna do this. It was just gonna be me and Statboy on the air when we first came on. I intended to wait for you to pop into the green room, right? So I as soon as you popped in, I was going to put this in the background. Let me see if I can get rid of that thing here. And then I was going to come on camera wearing, hang on, where'd it go? Wearing this shirt. And tell everybody, take the picture because you're never going to see it again. However, in my haste to get things ready before 7:05, I was moving the camera and revealed enough of it where Mikey could see the bit.
Yeah.
But I broke him. Like, he was laughing so hard, I'm surprised he has to go pee-pee in his pants. So it was funny or not.
Ribs hurting still. Yeah,
it was still hurting. His sides are still hurting, so it's all good. And was fun. I'm gonna leave the background off. Screw it. Shit. Anyway.
You did good.
So yeah, it was a good time. But yeah, as far as that we won the cup first, that's great. We won 2, and we beat your asses along the way to get there. So anyway,
Move on.
Let's see.
Moving right along. Dun.
That's it. So let's see. Richard says, I hope he uses AEW. Could use the AEW theme since supposedly AEW doesn't own it. But knowing Vince, no, actually, he probably will because they don't own it. And Tony totally bogarted the Hardys theme right out from underneath Vince's ass, like he really gives a shit.
Yeah, I was going to ask. I think I did ask that. How come AEW is you? What's up? What am I missing here?
Oh well, I had my stock answer because I knew, but the Renegade seems to know the answer to the question.
Go ahead.
Because WWE doesn't own it; they didn't produce it.
They never did.
Never.
No.
And the reason he and I both know that is because we WCW fans.
Domain music.
Really?
Yeah. Go back and watch. I want to say it's either Nitro or Thunders in 1998, in early 99, when they're running like those little hype videos for Be Superstar of the Week or whatever. You'll hear the Hardys music and you'll hear the Hollies music.
So wait a minute. Let me get this straight, West Coast professor.
Yes, sir.
You are telling the stat boy,
right?
You go back and intentionally, on purpose, watch Thunder.
Only because it was on TBS, and that's where they used it more. Yes.
Okay.
Hey, you can't teach
an
an old
dog. We
dog.
had this conversation back in the day, a couple weeks ago. I remember it, and Mikey, you may remember this. The old Dish Dogs VHS I used to have. Sean Astin, Matthew Lillard, Shannon Elizabeth movie. During one of the trailers, they used the Hardys theme on that VHS.
I think I do remember that.
And it's also on the Dish Dogs DVD. When they made the transfer, that stayed.
Out of curiosity, Jay, do you know what studio made Dish Dogs? Just off, do you happen to know?
Off the top, no, but I can Google it real quick. I mean,
go ahead and Google it because if it's a Warner Brothers picture, that's why.
That would make sense.
I'm 99% sure that movie, that both those songs were in that dreaded Warner Media library, which is why it was on TBS. Let JJ Google it, Mikey. He's already doing it. Damn it!
I already got it.
Too bad. You wait. You wait.
Okay, fine. I'm busy looking at Shannon Elizabeth.
As you should.
That's right.
That's right. It's 10:30 on the East Coast. We can hit after dark. It's all good.
7.23 Productions.
Okay. Who distributed it?
7.23 Productions.
Oh, so it's a completely independent film.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Indies. Yeah.
Well,
I thought it was indie.
Well, then they done stole from Warner too. Good on them. Whatever. Okay.
Or the trailer that was at the front of it was Warner Brothers something, but you know.
Oh, there you go. That's probably what it was then. Okay. So,
but anyway,
asking, have we watched Young Rock? I have.
No.
I love that shit.
I have not.
Mikey, have you watched Young Rock?
I might have seen a couple episodes, but I haven't kept up with it. No.
Okay.
Honestly, I do not watch a whole lot of regular television. Hopefully that is something that'll be rectified in the very near future. But most of what I watch is Netflix, Hulu, or whatever movie I'm watching du jour for review status.
Right.
The most recent shows that I watched were Hulu originals. Only Murders in the Building was one of them, with Martin Short, Steve Martin, and Selena Gomez. Really, really entertaining.
Yes.
Fun show.
Yep.
A group of friends start a podcast after a murder happens in their building, and they go around trying to put the pieces together and figure out who killed the person and why, all because they're already fans of this existing podcast. So, you know, kind of like how back in the day, a young Renegade and Stat Boy went and started their own wrestling shows after being fans of a certain ginger fat man up in the other corner who had already had their own wrestling show.
Yeah,
You know.
Yeah.
And
As we
then
do.
the other one I watched recently was
Excuse me.
I still need to see the final episode of Pam and Tommy.
Oh, geez.
Also
Yes,
Hulu
Lord.
original.
Biting your tongue. Good night.
And then
Good
I
night.
watched the Selena miniseries on Netflix. Really,
Oh,
really
how
good.
was that?
Really, really good.
Was
For
it?
as
I'm
much-
so glad.
For as much as Jennifer Lopez made me fall in love with Selena Quintanilla in the 97 movie,
Right.
this miniseries, not only did the young lady who played Selena just reaffirm my love for the fallen Tejano singer, but the series made me fall in love with the entire Quintanilla family.
Nice, dude. That's awesome. Very
I
cool.
highly recommend it. And another cool touch about it is they would translate the Spanish. So when she's singing the Spanish songs, English subtitles are along the bottom about
that's
loosely
awesome.
what the songs translate to and what the songs mean. Awesome.
Which is great if you've only seen the movie and didn't really know at the time. That's
Well,
awesome.
yeah,
I
like it's no secret on my end. I really do not speak Spanish.
No.
I jokingly tell people I speak, very little, muy poquito.
Muy poquito,
You
sí.
know, I'll even joke even further. Okay, my Spanish, taquito, burrito, quesadilla, guacamole, dos tequilas, por favor.
Sí.
I speak a little bit more than that, but not a whole lot much more. So
Right.
to see the translation of those songs and what those songs mean
Right.
just made them even more beautiful.
There you go.
If you're even a casual fan of Selena's, I highly recommend the series on Netflix. 16 episodes, 8 episodes per part, 2 parts.
Good stuff. Definitely check
And
it out.
yes, we all know how it ends. Kind of like the iceberg hitting the Titanic. We know how it ends. It's building the story to get there.
That iceberg hit the Titanic so hard, it was almost like the boat hit it instead. Anyway,
Hello, Facebook user.
yes, hello, Facebook user. Let's see who this is. Because they're clearly in the group, so they're clearly somebody I like and appreciate. Let's see. I'm going to call them out on their lack of being able to read and follow directions, just to be a dick. Let me see who it is. Hang on, let me see. Oh, it's Adam Buxton. Hey, Adam Buxton, read the damn directions. Zach read the directions. He knew how to do it. Anyway.
There we go. Look at that. Richard and ZOMG Ruler.
Yes.
Some good comments there following up on the Selena thing.
Yes. There you go. And anyway, so let's see, Renegade, there's a new Selena album. Oh, I didn't know that.
That would be
Really?
good to see. I would actually, since I have a turntable, I would love to find some of her older stuff on vinyl. But
Yes.
unfortunately, it's such a collector's item that
Right.
it goes for way too much money.
Yes. So for Christmas, I think it was last 2020 Christmas, we pulled together and got my dad a multi-platform turntable. It's got MP3, it's got CD, it's got cassette, if you can find those damn things anymore.
I have one of those too. I don't think it has the MP3, but it's got CD, it's got cassette, it's got AM FM radio, and the top flip's open for vinyl.
And it's got Bluetooth for Spotify and Apple and the whole.
See, I don't know if mine has that, but it's got everything else.
Right. So the plan is to, you two know, play the Gatlins off Spotify Christmas morning, but have it on the turntable audio, which is going to be like, talking about childhood. Geez, many crickets. But we've got a box underneath the table. Mikey's been in the house. Right on that, on the side of the couch, underneath that table, there's this box that hasn't moved in 20 years. It's full of vinyl records. So we're going to throw that shit on and just see how they work.
There you go.
If somebody can find a actual thing out in public that actually plays a track, let me know, because that's ridiculous.
Yes.
Talk about aging us. I had an 8-track when I was growing up.
Tremendous.
Oh, wow.
See, the trick is to find a car that has an 8-track player and then make sure you can still drive the mucker feather and put that shit on the road. Just make people go brrr as they go by. because that
I remember my mom and dad's old VW Bug when I was a little kid.
Oh yeah.
Had an 8-track in it.
Yes.
And boy, were they styling with
Oh,
that
yeah.
8-track.
So the one car I know in the family that had the 8-track was my mom's Bug. When she was a teenager, unfortunately, that actually didn't make it past 1979 because of a car accident. But yeah, just great, crazy memories from what I've told. Here you go, floppy disks. If you have a media value that can play a floppy disk, dude, you're a champion.
5.25 floppy disks. Yep.
Yeah. The real floppies, not the little hard
Bless you.
3.25 whatever
floppy
one,
like they actually
like a paper plate floppy.
They actually flop like my damn wallet right now. Yeah, they were floppy.
Does your wallet flop like that because it's empty?
No, because actually 2 freaking credit cards flew out of the damn thing as I tried to make the freaking prop joke. Here you go, Betamax. Jesus, we are going back. That's the one thing I haven't.
Woo, Betamax.
Never owned a Betamax.
We always
VHS
joke about our
Beta.
top 10s and me doing my wrestling and Jeff going hold my beer. This man just saw 8-track and raised it Betamax, like for real.
So all right. So if any of you are gamers in the chat room, here you go. If you can tell me in the chat room or you two that you have an Atari in your home that can actually be played still if you have the right hookups, you're on the same level as the Meacham family, because we've got one. It's in my dad's closet at the other house, and I'm waiting to find the friggin' hookups.
I do not have one anymore, but I do remember owning the 2600.
Dude, the 2600, I don't give a shit how hokey it sounds now in 2022. My favorite game was the bowling.
My favorite games for that were the ones that nobody remembers.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because they were such a limited audience type of game. Like, you want to talk about a pigeonhole demographic. There was a Journey Escape game based on the band and the album.
Good
Lord. Essentially, it was the logo from the album would come floating down the screen, and you would have to pick up the members of the band to get to a concert or something.
Wow. You know, scary enough, that sounds like Disney took that one. We can make a roller coaster of that. We'll just use Aerosmith instead. Anyway.
Disney essentially did take that game, and then on Nintendo, they made a little something called Adventures in the Magic Kingdom.
Oh, Jesus, that's that right.
Nintendo game.
Oh, my God. All right. So
where you would go on like Big Thunder Mountain, and you had to use the keypad to turn the game, so you'd stay on the tracks and not crash.
Oh, my God. That's tremendous.
Holy crap.
Atari had Asteroids. I forgot all about
Marshall Leonard still has an Atari.
God bless you, Marshall. See, I knew Marshall would be the guy. I'm so behind on comments. We're talking about crazy random shit at this point. That's okay.
I was going to say, we have to go back a little further than that, because there was one before that about the hardest deaths in the music industry.
I've been
probably John Lennon and Selena, considering the circumstances of their deaths.
Yeah.
I would add to that list, and just because I remember being affected by them, the deaths of Tupac Shakur, Biggie Smalls, and John Denver.
Yes.
Because Pac and Biggie very easily could have been avoided. It was it was a matter of the East Coast, West Coast feud reaching its boiling point. John Denver's could have been avoided because he was flying a test plane. It wasn't even like an official plane yet, and something malfunctioned.
Yep.
Granted, John Lennon and Selena were murdered by fans at the end of the day.
Yeah. Just bizarre.
But I would add those three to the list as far as considering the circumstances, because they definitely could have been avoided. And imagine the musical landscape if those 5 individuals had not been taken from us the way they had.
This is why he's the official music and media guy for the Jeff Meacham Network, right there. Shit like that.
And Freddie Mercury too. Had he not gotten
hell yes,
AIDS,
Freddie. Good grief.
I mean, Rick Boogs. I mean, Freddie Mercury. I mean,
well, again,
Ayo.
Freddie's, again, yes, could have been avoided, but completely different circumstances than the other ones being avoided.
But it came at a time when we didn't really know about HIV and AIDS,
right?
Which is why it and Eric Wright, Eazy-E's, were so devastating, right. And why we still scratch our heads and how is Magic Johnson still alive?
Yeah,
he had HIV. He should have had full-blown AIDS and been dead. No disrespect to Magic. I'd never wish death on nobody. Knock on wood. I'm glad he's still alive. I always loved Magic Johnson.
Showtime, baby.
But how did these two, but not him?
Right. Just definitely
something just never was right about that. But will WTC be returning anytime soon?
Well, okay, so obviously you're not following the Greg Cherry brand, and shame on you. He actually just defended the title a couple weeks ago. They had a big long tournament. Brett Storm emerged as the guy that I know us three thought it was going to be it. We thought Brett was going to be the guy.
Yeah, I didn't watch the tournament play out week by week like you guys did, but I remember talking to you specifically, Jeff, about this Brett guy and how he was coming through gangbusters, the perfect 10 every time. And if there was ever going to be a challenger that was going to take the strap from the great and powerful Greg Cherry, this was going to be the guy. And then Greg pulled it out of his ass.
Greg got 10 on him. It was 10-7. It was a good match, and Brett had the lead for a minute there. So no, the WTC brand will be switching to Jack of all trades the time being, because we're going live, because again, Greg hates me. And
unless you want to donate $100 on an episode of the Greg Cherry Show to challenge him.
But also keep in mind, Greg's made that clear. That's not a Money in the Bank where it happens right there.
Right.
Should be, but it's not. So yeah, that'll be coming up Thursday again. We'll do all the plugs at the end. Like I said, I've got at least another 45 I can go before I gotta start packing up, because I ain't gonna catch a bus till 9. So we're good to go on that. All right, let's see here. Who can y'all see the next woman going to the Hall of Fame be? I heard Michelle. Well, we already have Queen Charmel for this year, so because they're going to be in Texas. Although he and I talked about that, it should have been Michelle this year because Undertaker's going in. Now, granted, I know Booker and Charmel live in Texas, so I ain't hating on it. I am hating on the fact that, with all due respect to Booker, we've all met Booker. We love Booker. We love Charmel. What exactly did Charmel do that puts her in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah. And I already gave my hashtag StatBoy approved rant on that. I want to say on our first episode of Ask the Dads.
Yes.
So I'm not going to get into that there. But yeah, with all due respect, this year's Hall of Fame should have been Undertaker centric.
Yep.
Paul and Kane have already gone in. So you want to put in the Hall of Fame this year? The Undertaker, Michelle McCool, the Brothers of Destruction, Brother Love, the Ministry of Darkness.
Yes, we're praising Bruce. Don't send your hate mail elsewhere, okay? Seriously.
The man debuted The Undertaker.
Before
Paul took him over,
yeah,
Brother Love debuted The Undertaker.
Yeah. Amongst the million of other things Bruce has contributed to the business and the WWE.
Yeah,
you know,
he definitely has had a Hall of Fame career, but we can't put Paul in there alongside Taker because Percy's already gone in. So you put the guy in that debuted him.
Agreed.
Taker, Michelle, Brothers of Destruction, Brother Love, Ministry of Darkness. headliner, female, tag team, manager, stable.
Boom, there it is. But again, we're only fans. We don't know how to book. We don't know what we're talking about.
And Mikey, I'm going to turn to you. Can we get an official that was Statboy approved?
Absolutely. Statboy approved. Hashtag it.
There you go. Very good. Let's see. So, and again, I was going to say it, but it would have come off of me attacking a black woman and praising and continuing to attack a black guy. So it's like, I ain't going to go there. I'll even go you one better. With all due respect to everybody in the Hall of Fame, because for whatever reason, the McMahons think they deserve it. Hacksaw Jim Duggan didn't do diddly squat within the actual career he had in the WWF. Okay? Yes, he was the original Royal Rumble winner, and Greg Cherry's going to crawl up my ass about that now that I said that. But he was a WWS champion. He wasn't even the biggest American patriot guy in the company because Hogan had that gimmick locked down.
Mm-hmm.
So, no. Coco. I've said my piece on Coco multiple times over.
Yeah. And if you would like to hear Jeff go on a further diatribe about Coco, look up in his archive the episode of Dads on Wrestling where we discuss the top 10 people that should be removed from the Hall of Fame. We did not give separate lists on that one. We collaborated and did a joint list. Exactly. I remember this. I can give all the info because I recently rewatched it. Exactly. But yes, watch Jeff go at length about Coco and some others.
Now, I'm gonna borrow a phrase from our buddy Conrad Thompson because at the end of the day, without question, he's our favorite podcaster besides us. 100%. Brutus the fucking Barber Beefcake's in the Hall of Fame. Okay, like I get it. He's Hogan's guy. I get it. He was a tag team champion, and he probably could have been a college champion if he had his face exploded off. Okay, cool. But at the end of the day, it's Brutus fucking Barber Beefcake. Like, yeah. No. So there's that. There's a lot of people that don't belong in there. And let me just, that didn't. And if we're really gonna, you know what? I'm not even gonna say the names because I said I wouldn't say his name out loud on the show no more if I could help it. But that guy and Drew Carey, neither one. Well, okay, that guy does because of hosting WrestleMania, because of the friendship with the family, and at the end of the day, his entire picture in the office in Washington, every adult met room except one took damn stunners. So good on them for it. They're troopers. Okay. Granted, two of them took the worst stunners in history, but they still took the damn stunner.
Drew Carey was definitely on that list. Drew Carey was definitely on that list. Donald Trump, we spared because, like Jeff said, at the end of the day, feel how you want to feel about his presidency. That has nothing to do with his Hall of Fame ring because he achieved that prior to becoming number 45.
Right.
Hosting WrestleMania 4 and 5 when WrestleMania was still in its infancy, kind of bubbling and hadn't quite become the spectacle that everyone knows it as today.
Still gestating in that proverbial womb.
Yeah, I mean, it was getting there. But the fact that he hosted 4 and 5, the fact that he was involved in a main event match at Mania 23, his guy won, costing Vince to get his head shaved, the fact that he bought and then resold Raw to Vince McMahon, at the end of the day, ushering in the 3-hour era that we now hate today, granted, but his storyline had that much impact on the company. Then you figure what he did for Linda once he became president. You figure that he had WWE superstars on Celebrity Apprentice as tasks for, the people that wanted to become apprentice to try and compete in, there's a huge storied career for Donald Trump within the WWE, whereas Drew Carey's TV time, not counting the Raw he guest hosted, maybe 10 minutes at best. At best. And then when this guy went on to The Price is Right and got down to Contestants Row right around Rumble time that year and made a WWE reference to Drew shit on him for it. And then a few years down the road, Drew goes in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't really shit on it. I mean,
Yeah,
he kind of played it off a little bit, and he claimed that he doesn't, his quote was, "I don't do that stuff."
You did. I got video proof.
And yes,
your video
Bob Barker
footage
deserves the Hall
your
of Fame
video
more.
footage hasn't been erased from WWE TV like Ice-T's entrance from WrestleMania 2000. Your footage can still be seen.
I love that JJ is doing throwbacks to yesterday's show for that. That's tremendous. Good job on that. Very good, sir. Bob Barker deserves it way more just for guest hosting that one Raw. He didn't even get in the ring. Just because Bob Barker is Bob Barker. Anyway. Actually, pretty sure Kane's a Republican now because of the office he sits in. So, anyway.
Yes. Mayor Jacobs is Republican. That is true.
Flynn's a Republican. Kane is a representative of Hellfire and Brimstone. Anyway, we'll go ahead. That's right. He's
And
Devil's
yes,
favorite demon, or however.
and yes, ZOMG ruler Brother Love has not been inducted yet.
Yeah, I was trying to get there. Where we go here? There we go. And yes, Jaden and I talked about Andy Kaufman should have been in. He should have been celebrity number at least 2 behind Cyndi Lauper. Neither one of them are in, which is bullshit.
Yeah.
I had not heard about Shad being official. If that's official, that's awesome. I love that.
Yeah. If Shad's is, I heard they're going to wait to announce it. I think it's this week's SmackDown. That's going to be in Brooklyn.
Oh, that makes sense.
And that's where they're going to do the announcement.
I'm here for it, dude.
I still feel he should have gone in last year because of when it happened. And no disrespect to Titus O'Neil and what he does for the company. The man's still alive. He could have waited a year. It was hot off the heels. We're talking weeks old.
Right.
For that Shad tragedy. And it would have been a great way for us to be able to heal and honor him like the hero he went out as.
The good and bad argument to that is one and the same. I wonder if they didn't because they didn't want to invoke the same feelings as we had when Eddie passed. Because, yeah, you do it because he passed, but then you're doing it because he passed. So it's like, it's very much two faces coin. It's two heads, but they're both very, very different looking heads. So, but yeah, if it's official, hell yes, definitely deserves it. And again, Titus got it last year because he was also guest hosting WrestleMania, excuse me. So that makes the most sense to me. As far as Owen, again, we all saw Dark Side of the Ring. It's not going to happen. There's a reason AEW is doing the tournament in Owen's name because Martha authorized that. So yeah, and again, I gotta tell you every single week. Dr. Greg. Greg's in charge of booking Jack of all trades. If I was in charge of booking, I'd retire the belt Shane McMahon style and put it in a fanny pack and hand it to Dennis Knight. Just so I can say I retired undefeated. And if you get that reference, you cool with us in this room. Damn it, all the hell. Anyway, let's see. Hide that. Where are we at here? Bobby Uecker, your favorite celebrity? That's a pretty lofty statement because I think Pete Rose is funnier than hell. Being the first one, the fridge kind of was what it was. I mean, John's induction was more funny than Fridge's speech personally. I think because John totally absorbed the heat, absorbed the booze, and went into his announcer voice and did the thing and totally told the crowd and turned them on their ear. Because so good on him for embracing it, like, whatever, I'm gonna do it anyway. And he did. He had the whole crowd yucking it up, even his opponent. So that was funnier than hell. Who else, celebrity-wise? Again, Donald, Donald got booed in the Garden. That's where he stayed. Just saying.
I know.
So, Bob Uecker's speech was funny just because Bob is one of those guys, he's self-depreciating, which is the best kind of induction speech or any kind of speech when you're cracking on your own damn self. So I enjoyed it too, Richard. Greg actually came in second on Quizlemania, and it was close. The last round that he was in, had he got his clues reveal, I forget the name of the round. Forgive me, Adam and everybody. I apologize for not knowing the exact name of it. But had he got his clue reveal answer right in one less step, it would have been a thing because Tempest went just far down the road enough where it would have been a contest at the end. He came in a very close second. And at the end of the day, he even said it, that he just didn't want to embarrass himself. He certainly did not do that. He almost won the damn thing. So we're very proud of Greg across all of these channels. So congratulations to him. We finally got him on Quizlemania. It's been a year, and it was so fun to watch him do it.
Yeah.
And I got to watch most of it live. I was literally on the road here because it was on at freaking 1:00, stupid British time. But I enjoyed it till the phone died. And yes, none of us realized Kane was that ugly until it was too late. There you go, Pete. Very good. And plus, Pete Rose is my all-time favorite baseball player, which, I just spoiled one of our shows coming up. But that's okay. That's okay. Because we met Pete. My dad he was born in Cincinnati, grew up Cincinnati Reds fans, so we love Pete. So that's going to be my favorite induction, celebrity-wise, ever. We got asked earlier if we've watched Peacemaker. I have not seen Peacemaker yet. I'm going to catch shit for that, no doubt. But that's okay.
I haven't seen it either.
But
I did see about the first season. I think me and Mikey saw almost the entire first season of Arrow when it started.
Yes.
So
by default, I'm going to go with Stephen Arnell or Amel, however you say his last name.
Amel, yeah.
For Arrow.
So
no disrespect to our boy that lives by the creed of hustle, loyalty, and respect.
Right.
But I have yet to see his newest offerings, honestly, because I still ain't seen part 9 in the franchise that's about family. So I haven't seen that one either. So,
and let me just say this for the record, if we're being watched, like I know we're being watched, all 3 of us haven't watched it. Don't come at me. There we go. Very good. Okay. Anyway, I am not taking the fall by my day. If you're going down, I'm going down. I'm taking you 2 with me. Anyway, let's see here. Here we go.
In the words of one of your greatest adversaries, just bring it.
That's it. Yeah. And trust me, at least I know with those 2, it's a matter of when are they home to do a binge watch when they're not working. I got no goddamn excuse. So,
exactly.
Anyway, so let's see.
Marshall, here. I think we've addressed this numerous times. I think I speak for myself and Jeff, and Mikey can chime in if he would like. The greatest celebrity to appear in pro wrestling that has not been inducted in the Hall of Fame, who has left the biggest impact on the business, are Cyndi Lauper and Andy Kaufman.
Without Cyndi Lauper, there's no WrestleMania.
Period. Brawl to end it all, war to settle the score, WrestleMania.
Girls just want to have fun. Captain Lou is where it all started.
All 3.
Yep.
Like Jeff said, girls want to have fun. Captain Lou played her father. The Goonies are good enough. Captain Lou, Sheiky Baby, Volkov, Piper. There might have been a couple others, but I remember those 4 for sure. And that was a 2-part music video.
Yep.
And Andy Kaufman, was honestly the first celebrity to get how the business worked. Look up My Breakfast with Blassie. Should still be on Tubi for free. Look up his interview with Lawler on Letterman.
We covered this in detail back in January, Jay.
Think so, yeah.
Celebrity moments, non-WrestleMania moments at that. So again, Cindy's WrestleMania, but
and both of them appeared on our list of people that needed to be inducted last year when we did the Hall of Fame. When we mentioned Molly Holly, who went in that year, Eric Bischoff, who went in that year, RVD, who went in that year, Vader, who's going in this year. Yeah, nobody pays attention to us.
If you're watching on the Constantine Studios or the Jeff Meacham Network, these episodes are accessible. If you're not watching on these YouTube channels, go subscribe and watch those damn episodes. It's not it ain't a complicated process. All right, so
Warhawk Rambo, I disagree with you, and I'm going to tell you why.
Oh, here we go.
Because despite the ones who are caught up in legal controversy that probably will never get inducted, your Owens, your Benoits, the ones that are part of lawsuits that still have ruffled WWE feathers,
right?
You still have a slew of talented individuals who have left their impact on the business that deserve to be in there above some of the ones that are already in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I'm not going to sit here and shit on Coco, on Hacksaw, on some of the people that Jeff has made himself well aware and well known of his feelings on those people. Because at the end of the day, I feel like they maybe deserve a spot, just not over some of the people they got in over.
Exactly.
we look at this year, and the best example is Sharmell.
Yep.
Okay, I have no disrespect for Sharmell, Sullivan, Huffman. Period. End of story.
No.
However,
sorry,
Miss Elizabeth isn't in there yet.
Right.
End of argument.
Yep, that's it. That's the argument. Okay. I'm going to skip the wrestling entrances questions. We'll do that one last because that's another one we've covered on Dads ad nauseum. Underrated, underplayed, overrated.
We have not done the best ones.
Right. No, I understand that, which is why I want to save it till last.
The original
in detail and close it out. Did we watch Legends House back on the network days? If yes, should there be another season of All New Legends? I thought it was entertaining as hell. I watched it. I was impressed going in hype-wise. It was kind of lame. I'm not going to lie. I love all those guys in there. I've interviewed a lot of those guys that were in there. It didn't do it for me. So
I think it was
no.
good on paper.
Right.
I think it was poorly executed.
Right.
I think they could have picked better legends than some of the ones they did. No disrespect to Mean Gene. No disrespect to Pat Patterson. No disrespect to Tony Atlas.
Right.
But I feel like there was so much more that they could have done with it. Could you imagine a Legends House, especially doing it when they did it, with Sheik, Hogan, and Piper in the same house?
You probably see the house smoking now if they did that.
You want ratings. We've seen the Sheik's tweets about Hogan.
I interviewed the Sheik.
Okay?
Iron Sheik.
We've seen his tweets about Hogan. Yeah. We know him and Piper may get along great now, but you want a little bit of rah-rah. Hogan and Piper in the same house for a week, 2 weeks. Oh man, would it be hilarious.
At the end of the day, Legends House became the definitive memory I take out of that is the revelation of the worst kept secret in wrestling about Pat Patterson's lifestyle choice, or however you want to categorize Pat Patterson being gay. That's what that show became about. Was the fact that we all found out what we have known for 20 years.
Yeah.
So it really did nothing for me at the end of the day as a fan, honest to God. And yes, he even said Hollywood Braun Jabroni on the show about 4 times when we had him on back in 2003. So yeah, it's documented. It was a thing. What's funny though, he gets inducted 2 years later, puts over Hogan like Rover, and then goes right back to social media and cracks on him for the last 20 years.
Yeah. He rags on him. He loves it.
He does. And you know what? Hogan eats that shit up because it's funny because he knows it's all ha-ha. So, by the way, I do need to briefly, I know I'm going to piss people off by doing it, and I don't care because it's my show. There is a kind of like a movement out there right now, and Summer Rae's kind of at the front of it. There is a young fan who has Down syndrome, and his sister is part of the story too. I guess she was she had I don't know the actual name of the drug, forgive me for my ignorance, but basically she was roofied and ended up being paralyzed as a result from it. And so the mom in the situation has to take care of both of these kids basically for the rest of their days. Summer Rae, Danielle, I forget how to say her last name, but Danielle was able to pick up on the story and has really kind of taken this story by the reins and really drugged with fentanyl. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate that. Again, I don't know any about that stuff because that ain't my wheelhouse. But anyway, so in the process of getting the young man who has Down syndrome, is basically his dream is to be a WWE superstar, and he wants to go in and have just like one day of training type thing, be at a WrestleMania, like kind of like a big giant Make-A-Wish day type thing, right? So they were down, I don't know if it was in Tampa or Miami a day or two ago, and they were on stage talking, and the guy hosting the event turns and points, and here comes Hogan. Real Americans playing, the kid lights up like it's freaking Christmas, and throughout the Instagram stories, he's doing the pose, he's doing the whole thing, he's doing the ear gimmick, and this, it's almost like when I was on the Jericho Cruise. If lightning hits this boat, I'm good. If something takes that kid down right now, he got to pose on stage, and he was karaokeing Real American, which was even funnier, just because it was so genuine and so real and so sweet. It was so cute, so very cool. So I just wanted to applaud Summer Rae, and I wanted to applaud the Hulkster for being a part of that surprise, and I wanted to shout out Triple V for your journey to hopefully getting to train within the WWE family. And dude, you're awesome. So
he should be Omos's opponent, his mystery opponent.
Yes, there you go. There you go. He can be Seth Rollins' mystery opponent instead of Cody, because I think I think people would eat that shit up even more. All right, let's see.
Going back and piggybacking off of Iron Sheik, and what I wanted to bring up is the video of the HBO documentary on Andre, when Hogan tells the story that Andre didn't like Randy Savage and Andre didn't like Iron Sheik. Right. Because he's telling the backstage story. He's like, Andre's in the back playing cards. Randy would go up to him at the very last minute. How you want to beat me? No baby oil. Andre gives him a lesson. He's like, and then he does an impression of Sheik. He's like, hey, you think I can slam you tonight? Get out. Goes out of the ring, steps on him. He's trying to literally pop his leg off. And when Hogan's telling that story, that video, when it pops up in my YouTube feed, I watch it. It's one of the best Andre story videos out there. And let's face it, everybody has a favorite Andre story of anything, whether it's the drinking, whether it's riding in the back with Jake Roberts. That story is hilarious. Battling John Studd, who's the bigger giant. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's one of those like when Hunter was inducting Rick. We have an Andre story we either heard or we were there for, and if you were there for Andre's story in person, God bless you, man. Holy crap. So I'll co-sign on that, Dustin, about Jim and Roddy's friendship on Legends House being another key point of that. But I didn't remember it, so that's the thing. The memory I remember is I didn't remember Jim and Roddy's friendship, so you just said it right now. So that was the point I was trying to make. There really wasn't anything like, oh, wow, like that really captured the imagination of the world.
Exactly.
Okay. So
the one thing that I remember from Legends House was Jimmy Hart trying to show Mean Gene and Pat Patterson how to fillet a fish.
Oh, jeez.
They caught some beautiful fish. So they were going to have fish fry, and they're in the kitchen, they're doing their thing, and God bless Jimmy, he's just trying to help out, and he's like playing doctor with and Mean Gene wasn't having. He's like, "Will you get the hell out of my kitchen? Get out of here!" I can't fillet a fish to save my life either, but hey, I mean,
nor can I.
So
I can't fillet a fish, but I can sure as I take a skillet and cook somebody's couch with it when I'm trying to make the fish.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, if you know, you know. And if you don't, I ain't telling. So there you go. All right. So this is a very easy answer. The answer is Shane McMahon.
Oh yeah.
The reason I say Shane McMahon's more insane is because Mick Foley was the originator, and at the end of the day, it took two to make that happen. He done got flung off that muckerfucker, okay? Shane knowingly, willingly went through it on his own damn self twice.
Yep.
Now, Mick Foley also took 2 falls off through the cell. Well, 3 if you count 2 in one match. But the 2 in the match in 98, the second one wasn't a planned thing. So he's not insane for doing it because he didn't know it was going to happen. First one, kind of figured he would be a little rough, and it ended up being rougher than he thought. Second one was clean a plan, and he's lucky he's not dead or crippled because of the freaking chair falling his ass down and smacking him upside the head. Shane
totally agree.
Purposely climbed the taller cell that exists now and dove off that muckerfucker twice. Shane McMahon is next level crazy, and I'll tell you why he's even crazier than that, because he also fell off the side of the Titantron more than once. He also went through, it was tempered glass, but he went through glass panels 3 times in one match.
After it not breaking and him falling on his head more than once.
And if the people at Raymond James Stadium would have allowed it, Shane would have been the one jumping off the pirate ship, not Kevin Owens.
Well, which is why Kevin dove off the WrestleMania sign at the PC instead. But yeah, Shane would have done it, absolutely. Shane McMahon is next level crazy, and he's even crazier for the fact that he's got so much money, he don't have to do none of that shit.
He's covered.
He's definitely insured, otherwise he wouldn't be doing it. Anyway, all right, let's see what we got here. Coming down the pike here. Here we go. Okay, this is going to be fun for me to answer. Here we go. Okay.
Oh, my God.
So, all right. Jim Cornette versus Vince Russo in a shoot fight. I think it'd be a slap fest. Well, yeah, it would be for one thing. I personally believe that Cornette were he not in his age that he is now, would have a chance. But at the end of the day, they're both dirty. They're both, underhanded fighters when it comes to each other because they hate each other's friggin' guts. So if I'm going to toss a coin, which I'm going to have to do in this case with these two guys, I honestly think Vince Russo would win nowadays. Now, the difference is I think Jim Cornette legitimately hates Vince Russo with every fiber of his Louisville being.
You think?
I don't think Russo gives a shit.
Exactly.
He doesn't.
So I think that
I think
Cornette
Russo is so used to people hating me or hating him, and he's like, whatever.
Yeah. Cornette honestly hates Russo so much that his insanity would drive him to make a mistake and he get pumped. Straight up. And at the end of the day, not to crack on the South, but if a insane, worked up, crazy Southerner's going to go against KG Nyalka, it ain't going to happen, brother. It's just not going to happen. All right, where are we at here?
There you go. Put Russo and Cornette in Legends house.
The house would explode.
And we'll throw Hogan and Sheik in there since Piper's no longer with us.
Oh my God.
Okay. So let me just say this. If WWE's not going to want to put out the money to pay for certain wrestling themes to be used, do you think they would put out the kind of money to ensure that house? Vince is old and tired. He ain't stupid. Well, maybe. We all, the three of us, know Vince is not stupid. He may be old, he may be tired, but he's not stupid.
And if we want to pick a certain variation of people, we'll pick the 04 version of Foley and Flair to go in there too.
Why don't we just wire
this
the Myers
is a
house?
true story.
For real. Seriously. Just freaking wire the Myers house from Resurrection and actually make it a decent thing to watch. Anyway, there you go. Well, crack on people. All right. Better podcaster. Jim Cornette, Vince Russo, Bruce Pritchard, Eric Bischoff, Vince Russo.
Jeff Jarrett. I don't
listen
one. To any of them.
That's right.
Sorry.
Jeff Jarrett's
if
our guy.
If I were to listen to one of those, I would probably listen to either Bischoff or Russo.
Yeah.
Because those are the ones that I relate the most to.
Yeah. I was a subscriber for the longest time to the network that carries Bruce and Eric because I was listening to Conrad's podcasts. But of those four, I will say, I'll only say Bischoff now because number one, people think I kiss his ass anyway. And number two, Bruce, while the original of the four, he's kind of tapered off because he's doing so much WWE stuff now. So as far as, running the company, booking. So there you go. And here you go to throw into that powder keg even more. 97, Brett and Sean. Let's just pull the whole goddamn town up at this point. Really. Let's just have one house that's going to be in the center of town. Get these assholes in here and watch the whole town become a crater like Sunnydale at the end of Buffy. Good Lord. And that's it. Implode on its damn self. All right. We're going to get the question up now because we're going to start wrapping it up here in a few minutes. Where did it go? All right. So,
and it's such a loaded question. It's like, what do you base it on? Do you want to go per company? Right. Do you want to go per era? Because it's really hard to just pick one definitive best wrestling theme of all time.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you want to do this?
You got to be a little more detailed because, and this
is what we're going to do, gentlemen. Okay. I'm going to throw it out here since we've got a few minutes and we're just going to go spitfire on these. So first one that pops in your mind that you think is great. Okay. We're going to do this in a couple different rounds. Professor, I'm going to start with you first. WWF. So up until they name changed to WWE. Best wrestling thing.
Real American.
Mikey?
Bret Hart.
I'm going to go with My Time.
There you go.
Triple H.
Okay.
WCW. All time. Jeff?
NWO.
Okay. Mikey?
WCW. Sting.
Okay. And
hang on. WCW. So the Crow theme and the Metallica theme, the
Sting ones.
The Crow
band called Sting.
Shit.
Okay, so he goes with the Crow one. I'm gonna go with Goldberg. Ooh. It's either Goldberg or Harlem Heat for me for WCW.
Damn, look at you with a hot take. I like that. That's good.
I know you. I know you on Billy Boy, but we're talking about themes, not people. Billy's theme, dude, you couldn't mess with that theme,
dude.
That was some serious hype workout stuff right there.
Goldberg's theme is so over still to this day. The Vegas Gold Knights use it as their Thunder March walking into the arena. So
this dude says Mortis. Moving right along. Okay, Jeff.
You got the moxie of that guy.
Championship Wrestling.
Say it again. ECW.
Yeah, ECW proper, not WWECW.
Jeez, Sandman. It's got to be Sandman.
Mikey?
I concur, Sandman.
And just because of how much I loved him, I'm going New Jack.
Oh, jeez. God.
I gotta
please
go
don't
with
say
my boy.
that.
Honestly, ECW is the one I have the hardest time with because aside from Sandman, which you took, for me, aside from that, it comes down to New Jack, Natural Born Killers, RVD Walk, Raven Come Out and Play, and Tommy Dreamer Man in a Box. Like those four and Sandman are like ECW in a nutshell to me.
Ravens was good in ECW because it was another one of those tracks of the time. So
Yeah.
I'll agree with that one too in the room.
All right. TNA. NWA TNA. Now, I know that you watch current product a little bit. So if you've got one of the more modern themes that's going to be on your number one, your best,
Good.
go for it. Otherwise, we'll just stick with what we know. But NWA TNA, Jeff.
My world. Jeff Jarrett.
Okay. You're going Double J. Mikey?
You are.
Oh, jeez.
I am. AJ Styles.
I was going to say, man, if I had my hoodie, I was going to do the whole look up, throw the hood back, dude. AJ Styles.
All right.
Second
Do me a
place
favor,
to me would have to be Christians, though.
Yes.
Yes. Very true. Do me a
Okay.
favor and do AW's last for me, okay?
All right. Do AEW's last. Okay. So now we're going to go to WWE from the name
Okay.
change to now.
Oh, basic economics. What else?
Okay, Mikey? Hot take?
Hollywood Rock.
Ooh. Couple of really good ones there. I'm Mikey went with one that was totally blowing. I was hoping nobody was going to touch Thugonomics, but
Oh.
you know, I'm gonna go with Burning My Light.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Also a great song.
Okay, so what does that leave us? Other than
It's AEW, but I'm trying to get mine queued up proper here. So
oh
stretch
god,
it
here
out
we
if
go.
you can.
You're probably gonna play Judas.
I'm
if
not
I
gonna
know you.
play Judas. That will give me copyright ding. I'm not stupid.
All right. Before
honestly,
we go to that one to AEW, we'll do this one because it's a really broad spectrum.
okay.
Any indie theme that we've heard over the years. So
Wow.
our time at Battleground, our time at Guerrilla, AWS, EWF, Massive.
Got it.
What?
El Generico.
Olay,
I was gonna
okay.
say that. I had that one queued up in my head. Frankie and Daniels, because Frankie used "You're the Best Around" from Karate Kid, and Daniels used Marilyn Manson. What's the name of the song? Help me out here.
Beautiful People.
Oh, was it Beautiful People?
Think so, yeah.
Oh, it was. Okay. All right. I'm trying to remember it in my head. Honestly, Punk's Ring of Honor theme that Marshall mentioned, I had forgot he used that theme besides Cult's Personality until I was like, oh, that's right. He used that one too. So definitely CM Punk's themes throughout the last almost 20 years now, which is scary.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, Punk ain't had a bad theme yet.
I'm going to go with I could be just a dick and say Mbop for the Young Bucks, but I'm not going to be that guy. Honestly, the one that I come back to,
opposing it.
the one that I come back to as one that I just loved bumping, even though I wasn't really a fan of the song until I heard him use it. Samoa Joe, the champ is here.
Oh yeah,
especially with the Godzilla intro. The champ is here.
You know
And
what?
of course,
We
who
forgot
can
one in
forget-
WWE.
Who can forget Kevin Steen's "Now You're a Man, man"?
You watch Owens on TV now and you go, God, talk about an evolution of a personality in wrestling. Good Lord. At the end of the day, he's
Joey
still
Ryan's
that basic.
Magnum PI theme, you know.
How did
with the
I left that one out.
mustache ride.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the fact that it was Joey's isn't what, although Joey did make it because of what Joey Ryan's character was at that point. But just the fact that he reached back and pulled out the entire Magnum PI theme from the show, it's like, damn it, Joey.
And rocked the Hawaiian shirt and everything to totally make the shtick. He grew the mustache.
Yeah, he did.
He rocked the Hawaiian shirt. He had the Magnum shtick down.
Oh, yeah.
I swear.
And then that was the same era as the Joey Knows Best, Hogan Knows Best shirt.
Yes. I swear he went to some gear creator and found the smallest pieces of fabric possible to match with his Hawaiian shirts. Because those Hawaiian tights, I can see Honolulu doing it that way.
Meacham.
What's that?
I wasn't trying to remember those.
Well, you know, the fact that we had those tights back then, and the fact that we had that photogenic Chris Bosch literally front moon the crowd to the point where my co-host actually fell through, not out of, through his plastic ringside chair. Yeah, PWG was a tough place.
Yeah, I'm surprised Mikey didn't throw out Arrogance, knowing his history with Chris Bosch and Scott Lost.
Dun, 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 dun,
I wouldn't even call that history. That was just a brief interlude, is what it all. Because it never grew. It just
it never evolved into the shoot interview that it was supposed to be. Because at the end of the Lioncock DVD was Scott and Chris interviewing the original of that gimmick. I don't want to say the name because it's not PC anymore.
Definitely not.
But the originator of the gimmick, which Mikey evolved as the time and Gorilla went on, they were supposed to do a part 2 interview with Mikey in his place, interviewing him for a future DVD they were going to come out with. I think at the time they were talking about either a Lioncock Volume 2 disc or a Best of the Dynasty disc that they were going to put out with the interview with Mikey as the bonus feature, and it just never panned out.
Yeah.
And it wasn't from anything on us.
Though. So, yeah.
It wasn't from anything on us because we were always there early enough, and Mikey was willing. But I think that's what killed it, was that Mikey was so willing, whereas the other guy really seemed kind of aloof with what they were doing. Mikey understood the business enough that he got what they were doing, so it didn't seem as funny to them.
Right.
I think that's what killed it. All right, so are you ready now for AEW?
I'm not sure why it's not working. Like, it won't send through Facebook. Give me a second here. I'm trying to. All right, go ahead and ask the other two. And you know what? We have somebody waiting to come in the room, so we'll go ahead and ask him too. Jay Rose here. He's been in the chat room all night. So welcome to No DQ or wherever you're watching. We appreciate it, brother. What's your wrestling theme list? JJ went through it all. WWF past, WCW all time, ECW all time, WWE post 2002, and independent. Run them off, brother.
And NWA.
Yeah, it's quite a front-loaded question there, but I think, to be honest, I really like a lot of the themes from the Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression Era. WCW had some, I think the NWO theme, which I feel really bad for, especially in hindsight, because after the passing of Scott Hall, I really wish I got the NWO WWE 2K version, the 2K22 version, NWO theme, and I really like, I'm like, my knowledge of themes is not good. But I don't know, for some reason I like a lot of underrated stuff. You know, like Loki.
Right.
I don't know, Loki's theme in TNA is always one that really strikes a chord with me. You guys remember that one?
Yes. I remember Loki. I remember Triple X.
I remember
AMW
Triple
theme
X's
was
theme. I remember
solid.
Loki's by himself.
It
I
was
remember Triple
pre-Triple X.
X's theme.
Oh.
You know, I think you know what? You guys ever notice Ultimate Warrior and Paul London's themes are kind of similar a little bit?
Yeah, definitely
I don't know. I
interesting.
don't know if anyone's ever addressed that. But they do. There's little. They both kind of run to the ring with that music, right?
Right.
So, you know, coincidence? I don't know. Whatever happened to Paul London, by the way? I never hear about him anymore.
He pops up every once in a while on the indies. He was training people at some point, much akin to his trainer Shawn Michaels. All right, so let's see, we did that. What about ECW? What was your favorite ECW theme?
ECW, you know, actually, with ECW, it was probably Rob Van Dam's theme because he had Pantera, right, as his theme music in ECW.
Originally, yes.
Because I remember, and I think, yeah, it's funny. All these like, you know, '90s heavy metal music, like Pantera and Metallica, like, you know, Enter Sandman, With the Sandman, Alice in Chains. You know, they're all because of the ECW themes. Like I got into that music because they were all ECW guys' themes, and I was like late to the party with ECW. But you know, when I went back and like watched like best ECW, I listened to all those themes.
And WWE post 2002.
Oh, well, I mentioned the chat.
Post brand extension, I'll even say that. There you go.
I mentioned the chat. Kane's theme, Slow Chemical. That was that's right. Like I remember there was like a few years back, a couple years back, like somebody like had that theme as a YouTube, and Glenn Kane / Kane just like kind of like made an awkward face when he heard that. And then I like One of a Kind. I like the V1 or whatever version, Mattitude, whatever version of Matt Hardy's theme.
Yes.
You know, and I don't know if anyone remembers Christian's theme before he went to TNA and after TNA. Like it was originally women that sang his theme.
Yes.
And then when he came back to WWE, it was like a male version of that song.
Of Just Close Your Eyes. The one that
Just
sounded like Evanescence.
Was that Evanescence, really?
No, it just kind of sounded like them.
Yeah, very pastiche, because I mean they're so popular around that time. So and I think Bring You to Life was like a WWE theme back in 2003 too. I think it was like
I think
2003 No Mercy. Another one post 2002. I mean, I guess You're Gonna Pay, what Undertaker's American Badass theme. Well, you know, I know Stone Cold flip. I know Stone Cold kind of flipped back and forth with like he did like, you know, his Disturbed version, and he did that one during the Alliance. I know this is before 2002, but like, I mean, I guess he kind of just stuck with this since 2002. He's stuck with pretty much the same theme song. What other ones?
And then what about TNA and the Indies? Oh no, we're to TNA. So Indies.
Okay, Indies. Yeah, I admit I don't have a lot of exposure to the Indies, but I remember one time. I actually remember seeing the Young Bucks back in 2007 in Petaluma with my buddy Sean, and I know Gangrel and David Young were in the main event. Gangrel used his Brood theme. The Young Bucks actually used Hanson's Mbop as their theme song, and me and my friend was like, what? Because I don't follow the Indies as much, but you know, that's one theme in the Indies I struck a chord with. Another one, I guess anytime there's licensed music in a theme song, that was one event where they did that. Another event I remember, I think somebody to use a Limp Bizkit theme in one of the shows, which is funny because I know during the Ruthless Aggression era, like Fred Durst appeared in like No Mercy or whatever WWF NC4 games, and he like had like stuff music for like an Undertaker or whatever. So I know there was a lot of that. And they use that in the indies as well. They use a lot of Limp Bizkit and some of the indie stuff. I know Colt Cabana used Copacabana theme for his indie shows.
Cool,
Yep.
man.
In the cabana.
You know, Jay, we didn't mention Adam Pearce, Prelude to a Bludgeoning. I always loved when Adam came out to Prelude to a Bludgeoning. That was a great theme, as was Black Betty for him. So there you go.
I didn't see. Is NWA that was NWA or indie?
NWA was indie back then. It wasn't under anybody's one particular brand. It was kind of a licensed cluster mess. So
we also didn't mention our boy, the American Dragon, using the Final Countdown.
Oh, hell yeah!
I remember somebody on MySpace, I guess, used it because they were like a big wrestling fan, and I was wondering why they used. Remember when when they had those embedded music you could use in social media? God, I missed that. Somebody used I think it was you, Jeff. Like you used it on MySpace, and that must have been because that was in relation to Bryan Danielson.
Oh, countdown?
Huh?
Oh, okay. I said I know when I was doing the MySpace thing, I used my buddy my friend's band's theme song for XMV back in the day. All right, so
you can always change. You can always change. And people would rotate
sure because I'm gonna.
Well, if you remember, Jeff, people used to rotate their music in MySpace all the time. Like I would change to Linkin Park if I was feeling emo, or if I was trying to be more contemporary, I listen to Oasis. I just always switch out themes. So so it's possible. Yeah, you probably use a bunch of different themes in your profile.
Very likely. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get your answer for AEW, and then we're going to go ahead and kick you off because I got to catch a bus. We went way longer than I thought. So
what's your
favorite AEW?
I mean, it's without question. Second place is Kenny Omega's theme, but without question, the greatest. It's Judas by Fozzy. Like, come on, even when he's heel, people will sing his theme song. I can't even sometimes I even work out to that theme music. I mean, it's kind of funny because think how long Fozzy has been around, because I remember they did that song Enemy and for TNA and WWE and so the fact that now it's kind of it's become symmetrical, symbiotic with Chris Jericho now, that theme song. I don't know if I could ever hear the Countdown music in WWE again. I really think that music is synonymous with Judas. Judas in my mind. Just So there's a lot of other great themes in AEW, but if you're going to give me my top two, Kenny Omega's theme and Chris Jericho's theme's my number one.
All right. Well, thank you for popping in. We appreciate it. We'll definitely catch you when we come back for Talk Wrestling on whatever it is, April 5th or whatever it is. Thank you for joining in. We appreciate it, brother.
April 5th. All right, I'll put it on my calendar. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Have a good one. Mikey, favorite AEW theme?
I honestly haven't watched it, so I would have to go with Cult of Personality if he's still using it.
Which he is.
Okay.
JJ? You watch it more than Mikey does, so.
Not much more. I mean, I aside from Cult of Personality, Brian using Fly to the Valkyries, and Jericho using Judas, I can't really think of a song that sticks out in my mind.
Right.
Well, you know what? I take that back. John Moxley using Wild Thing.
Yes, there you go.
He uses the Major League Rick Vaughn version of
Wild
Thing that the crowd sings when he comes out to pitch.
Yes.
That's mine for AEW, because I remember the first time I heard that, I was like, is he using the Major League version of Wild
Ricky
Thing?
Vaughn, baby,
and my roommate was like, I guess so. I was like, you don't get it. Okay.
Uneducated fools.
Yeah.
All right, now.
So John Moxley using that version of Wild Thing.
Now, I did say I wasn't going to use Judas, and technically I'm right. However, it's only because it's a mashup.
And now it's glitching because you're trying to show a video.
Working? Oh, it's also not working.
Dude.
It's freezing.
Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho coming out together.
Orange Cassidy and the champion, Chris Jericho.
The video's way behind, but that's okay.
Yeah. You know, there's a small part of me that when AEW comes out here for Rampage in Ontario, wants to see the Bucks use Mbop just for that hometown crowd.
Right?
Not going to even front.
Definitely.
I think that would be the funniest thing ever.
Like people like were cracking on me for a while because like I had all my friends that were going to these AEW shows. It's like, you don't understand. Like, I want to be part of this. Then he's in the last match of the last night of the cruise. I'm like, okay. So it was awesome. It was very cool. And yes, they are coming out here for Dynamite and Rampage. And will the Bucks use Mbop? Probably not. If they do a dark match, they might. Just to do it. Right? Like, if they appear on AEW Dark just to say they can do it and do the Mbop theme, you will hear my pop from wherever you are in the world.
Yep.
Because, like I said, I managed against the Young Bucks when they were using that theme. So for me, that'll be a personal throwback. All right. So there we go. We went way longer. I got to haul ass and catch this bus. So I'm not going to do
home.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. I'm not going to do all the plugs I intended to do because I just don't have the time at this point. But definitely check out the Greg Cherry show tomorrow on the Greg Cherry brand and the Jeff Meacham Network. Let me get rid of the banner because at this point we're not going to have everybody call in anymore. There we go. So that's every Wednesday on Greg Cherry brand and the Jeff Meacham Network at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific. As I mentioned earlier, the first defense of the Jack of All Trades Championship, which disappeared on me. There it is. Again, I'm defending against 3 people I've never been on screen with, and it's live because, as I said, Greg hates me. Much to JJ's delight, we'll be back Friday with open mic night on the Jeff Meacham Network every non-Dad's Friday. And then next week's WrestleMania week. Good grief, yeah. Charlie Brown. Starting tomorrow, if you're on No DQ,
so much
I appreciate the audience. They have 13 straight days of Aaron on camera doing something. Whether it's a predictions, whether it's a review, wherever the case may be. So please show some love to No DQ. As the boss would say yes to No DQ and check out everything they have to offer here on this channel, on the No DQ YouTube channel, on the website, all that jazz. Be sure to be on the lookout for us coming up in April. The Dads, always on wrestling. We've got our WrestleMania entrances in April. We've got our top 10 baseball players in April. And we've got our Backlash matches show in April. So that's coming up. Ask the Dads every single Monday at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific, just before Monday Night Raw kicks off. Sometimes we go into Raw because, well, you and I both know we don't have 3 hours Raw anyway. So, just lots of great stuff. Like I said, the calendar's getting full. And this dude and I had a meeting last night that went well over an hour past being on the air. We already got 2024 booked for Dads. Or 2023. 2023 booked for Dads. And we're talking about 2024 project already. So, Jiminy Crickets, kids. We are long-term booking in wrestling.
I know, right? For those of you out there that are going to tune in on Monday to Ask the Dads, I just want to go ahead and throw out there, since we're all on camera right now.
Yes, sir.
Please do not ask us any WrestleMania-related questions this coming Monday on Ask the Dads, as Tuesday we'll be doing our preview predictions for Supercard of Honor and NXT. NXT Stand and Deliver being WrestleMania Saturday. Wednesday's Greg Cherry show that week. I'm sure Greg Cherry will be talking about WrestleMania. Thursday we'll be doing our WrestleMania, both nights of predictions. And then, like he said, Friday will be the greatest WrestleMania entrances. So we cordially ask that you guys hold off on WrestleMania questions for Ask the Dads on Monday, as there will be all of those opportunities, except for Dad's, because that's pre-taped, obviously, to get your WrestleMania questions in and answered.
And before we sign off, because everybody in the room knows him, and I know you guys love him, but I love him the most. Happy birthday, Dad.
Yes.
I know you're not
happy
watching because
birthday,
you're home having your
Frank.
birthday dinner right now and all that jazz, but I love you, and I can't express enough how much who I am and who I will ever want to be is because of you and my mom. I mean, that picture on the left is just the pride in the fact of my existence, and that there's a picture of Dylan and I in the same basic pose. Just means everything to me, and the fact that you got to experience my first time meeting Lita, who is a favorite of everybody in this room.
How is it that Lita looks like she's still in her 20s in that picture is what I want to know.
And this is after sitting in Vegas traffic for a half hour during NASCAR weekend. So God bless Amy for showing up show ready. Love that lady to death.
Yes.
So good
Happy
on her.
birthday, Frank.
Yes.
Happy
You are
birthday,
Stat Boy
sir.
approved.
God bless you. All that good stuff.
Yes. And we will
All right.
sign off with that. Again, the next time you'll see this show, Talk Wrestling, will be on the Tuesday following WrestleMania.
Yes.
After NXT's regular broadcast at 8 o'clock Eastern. So we'll be back here at 10:05 Eastern in 2 weeks, April 5th. Revenge of the 5th, except it's not May, so it's not really event. It's the Revenge of the Meech, because we'll be after WrestleMania. Have a great night, guys. We'll see you next time right here on Talk Wrestling on the Greg Cherry brand on the Constantine Studios, on NoDQ.com, and of course,